What's up, everybody? Hope you all enjoyed your day. Getting into this episode of GH. Nicholas done lost his damn mind. Nicholas has completely flipped his shit. Liz confronted him about calling Carolyn in to help with the whole Esme thing, trying to, you know, suppress her memories and stuff like that. And he tried to play dumb. He really tried to act stupid. Like he didn't know Carolyn was in town and all this, that, and the third. And she called him out on that. Um, and the fact that he lied to her, and she was like, "Why you didn't tell me Carolyn was in town?" And he talking about, "Oh, because I'm trying to protect you." She saw right through that bullshit. Because at the end of the day, Nicholas didn't tell Elizabeth for the simple fact that he knew she wouldn't approve. She wouldn't go along with it, and he damn well knew it. That's why he tried to keep it on the hush. And at the end of the day, he's just trying to protect himself. He's trying to do what's in his best interest, not Liz. He doesn't give a damn at this point. Um, and Liz pretty much says she's done with this. You know what I mean? Nicholas talking about, oh, well, we're in this mess together. And Liz was like, no, bitch, you're in this shit by yourself now. She was like, I'm not getting pulled into your lies anymore. And I don't blame her. I'm glad Liz stepped up for herself. You know what I mean? And she's done dealing with Nicholas. And she was like, you need to stay away from me. She doesn't want Nick anywhere around her anymore. And I don't blame her. He's not the friend that she used to know. So she stormed out of the room. He stormed out after her. And that bastard had the audacity to grab her arm. Like, he was literally grabbing her arm, like trying to manhandle her. And I was watching. I'm like, if he don't get the hell off of her, if he don't unhand her, I want to jump through that TV and beat his ass. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he need an ass whooping. I was so glad when Finn came in and, demanded Nicholas get off of her. Like, even Laura was in shock by Nicholas's behavior. You know what I mean? She was shocked that he was manhandling Elizabeth the way that he was. And so she, took Nicholas to the side or whatever, and, tried to chastise him for what he was doing. I feel like, you know what, at this point, Laura need to go old school with him. She need to get her belt. She need to get a switch and wear his ass out. Because I swear, this is why they couldn't have me on this show. They couldn't have me as a cast member on the show. Because if I was a character in this show, I would have got off that elevator and lit his shit up. I would have lit Nicholas' ass up had I seen him manhandling her like that. Oh, it would have been a problem. It would have been a whole issue. Y'all would have seen me on the 10 o'clock news. I'm just saying. Because Laura is sick and tired of this behavior from him. Like, she sees him go from one disaster to the next disaster. Like, he's spiraling out of control at this point. She wants to see him become, the man he used to be. But, Nicholas feels like, oh, I want to become that man again. And, he promises to do better by this new baby and by Spencer. And that he's no longer going to be under Victor's thumb anymore. I swear to God, I wouldn't be surprised if they were setting up a whodunit, a murder mystery. I feel like a part of me feels like that's where they're heading with Nicholas, because he is spiraling. He got a lot of people pissed off at him right now. He's just spiraling deeper and deeper out of control. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did a Who Killed Nicholas storyline. I wouldn't be shocked at this point. So anyway, I'm glad Liz finally told Finn the truth about what happened and the fact that, she was never pregnant by Nicholas. I'm glad she telling him. Do I want to see her and Finn back together? No, not really. I honestly, I don't. I don't want to see them back together. I can't front. I just see them more as friends. I don't know. Maybe that can change, but for right now, I don't know. I just see them as best friends, maybe. But I'm glad she told him, because he deserved to know the truth. So anyway, moving on from that. Spencer pretty much was trying to, figure out, like, what would happen to the baby if Esme were to go to prison and stuff like that. And Jordan pretty much told him that the baby would either go to social services or to Nicholas. And so Spencer basically was like, so what if Nicholas went to prison? And that piqued Jordan's curiosity, because she was like, why would your father go to prison? Like, of a crime that I don't know about that he did? And, that's when she got her phone call or whatever. So that's when Spencer just decided to keep it in-house. Like, he chose not to send Nicholas to prison at the moment. And he chose to handle this, between family. And, he told Trina that. He was like, I just want to keep it in-house at this point. But he also told Sonny that he's more determined than ever to make sure that that child doesn't go with Nicholas. Like, he doesn't want Nicholas ruining that baby. Um, but I'm glad, he got a moment alone with Trina and stuff like that, and they were talking about Britt in the memorial. Um, because he was upset that Nicholas didn't even come to the memorial or whatever. And I'm glad Trina let him know, like, listen, this ain't about him. Britt's memorial is not about Nicholas. It's not about Spencer. It's about Britt. And that's what he needs to focus on. And I totally get where Spencer coming from, because he feels like nobody's ever going to fully understand him like Britt did. I get him. But at the same time, I feel like he has a good support system around him. He got Laura. He got Sonny, he got Cam, he got Trina, and even as much as he pisses Cameron off sometimes, Cameron and Trina and all them still stick by him. You know what I mean? That's a good support system to have. So even though he lost Britt, it's like you still gain so many other people. You know what I mean? And Britt is still there with him in spirit. He just got to remember all the conversations that they had and think about, like, when he's about to do something disastrous, what would Britt think? You know what I'm saying? What would she say? So those things don't never go away. But I am glad that he got Trina there to lean on and whatnot. So of course, Laura and Nicholas arrived. They showed up late and whatnot, trying to support Spencer. And at this point, Spencer is over Nicholas. And he let Nicholas know, like, listen, you done ruined too many people. He said, I'm not about to let you ruin this child life either. So it's definitely going to be a battle at this point. So moving on from that, Heather Weber, with her nutty self, she wasn't pleased when she looked at those documentations, that document that Nicholas left with Esme. When she looked at it, she was shocked that Nicholas was the baby father, and that those were custody papers, basically. And she implored, Esme not to sign them. But Esme has it in her mind that this is just temporary. I'm like, no, sweetie, these are not temporary papers. These are you giving up your parental rights permanently. And Heather was just imploring her, like, do not sign those papers. You know what I mean? So Esme told her, she's not going to make no decisions until at least the next day. So Ryan came in, and Esme thought that it was Kevin. But, Heather had to bring her up to speed on who he was. And Heather was sitting there trying to tell her to keep her distance from Ryan. So she went over to Ryan to talk to him, because she, was bringing him up to speed about the fact Nicholas was trying to take their grandchild from them. And she feels like now Sam is butting into the business, trying to go to England to, get information out of Maggie, the nanny. And she's not here for that. And she figured that, by judging by Ryan's reaction, that he knows that Maggie knows who he is. So Maggie could connect the dots. She can lead Sam and Dante to Ryan. So Heather came up with the brilliant idea to break out of Spring Ridge. Her, Ryan, and Esme. But that's where I'm confused about. If she wants Esme to stay away from Ryan, why would you want all of y'all to go on the run together? Doesn't make sense. And besides, that's going to make them an even bigger target, because I'm like, how the hell are you going to go on a run with a pregnant woman, who's about to give birth? And then y'all going to have a baby. I'm like, that's going to paint a bigger target. Y'all easily can get caught like that. Don't get me wrong, Heather knows how to stay under the radar, but it's like, it's going to be tough to do when you got Ryan, Esme, and a new baby. That's going to be hard to fly under the radar that way. But she thinks this is the only way. I'm like, okay. Couple loony bins. They're going to be a family of nut jobs on the run. I can't wait to see that mess. So anyway, I love the scene with Brad, when he was with Scott and Lisa. And he was in Britt's old office and stuff like that. And, he was just wondering why Britt never told anybody she was sick. And I agree with Lisa. Britt didn't say anything because she wanted everybody to treat her like normal. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't want nobody treating her any different or looking at her funny or thinking that she needs a caretaker or whatever. She didn't want that. So I totally understand why she didn't say anything. So I thought it was a touching moment, though, when Brad put out the pint of ice cream with the 2 spoons and stuff. I thought that was amazing. Like, that was such a sad moment. You know what I mean? To lose your best friend like that. But I love the memorial that they gave. A lot of good people showed up. And, I think Britt definitely had an impact on a lot of people's lives. Like, she was a mean-ass woman when she first came, but she did change. She became a good person. She was a hell of a doctor. You know what I mean? So I love that Tyrion on him. I know some people might complain that her picture was put up on the wall at the hospital memorial wall with the Quartermains and all the other people that had an impact on that hospital. But I feel, me personally, just my opinion, I feel like Britt's picture definitely deserves to be on that wall with them, because despite what people may have felt about Britt, she was a damn good doctor. You know what I'm saying? She did save lives. She did a lot for the hospital. You know, the hospital was one of the few things in this world that she actually gave a damn about. You know, she loved being a doctor. So I think her, picture definitely deserves to be up there. And I love the send-off that they gave. And I know it was hard for Lisa to even leave that wall. That's why she had to stay behind and be there, And I don't blame her. So anyway, moving on from that, I'm glad that, Nina and Sonny at least got to, watch the baby through the incubator, because, behind, at least outside the room or whatever, they got to watch the baby and see their granddaughter and stuff, because I'm like, it is a little trifling that they're not allowed to be around her. Like, come on now. I understand Michael is upset, Willow's upset with them or with Nina or whatever, but it's like, come on now. If Carly and all them other people get to see her, why they can't? They not a danger to that child. That's their grandchild too. They should at least be able to, look at her at the very least. Like, they treating them like, like they poison or something. I'm like, come on, man. They not gonna hurt that kid. So anyway, moving on from that. So Dante and Sam pretty much bring Jordan up to speed about them going to England to meet up with, to try to find Maggie or whatever, to see if they could figure out Esme's role in all this, or if she knows anything. But the address that they got on Maggie is at least 5 years old, so they don't even know if she's even still at that address. But Jordan is definitely starting to see that whoever this hook killer is attacking all of Esme's enemies so far. Minus, Brando, because Brando wasn't the real target. But they starting to see a pattern with this. So they figure it got to be somebody close to Esme, or somebody that Esme may know. I really hope that we get to see Dante and Sam in England, see their travels and stuff like that, because I think that'd be pretty dope. The same way we get to see Anna and Valentine on the run and whatnot, I want to see Dante and Sam up in England trying to figure this mess out, because I think that'd be pretty cool. And we hopefully get to finally see the infamous Maggie, because they've been talking about her for quite some time, literally since Esme came on the show. So hopefully we get to see her and get some damn answers. You know what I'm saying? Even though we have the answers. But, hopefully Sam and Dante get those answers, and the travel wasn't for nothing. And I also want Sam and Dante to take some time out for themselves to get their, little love making going on. You know what I mean? Take a little romantic stroll through England, because it ain't like it's every day that people get to go to England. So they got to take some time out for them. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Peace.